Hello, my name is Dominic Underhallhouse and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. In today's episode I'm going to be a little bit rushed getting into it because what we've got is for the next hour and a half from my time we've got the developers are going to be queuing up, so we're going to be able to potentially play against the devs in real games of match-made PvP. So I'm going to be jumping in as quickly as possible. We've got a game already, which is great. If you like this sort of content, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment if you think I've made any great plays or any terrible misplays. And most importantly, just enjoy yourself as well. I'm really looking forward to this. Hopefully we can find a couple of familiar names to play against. And we'll see what we can do from here. So Disruptor being good and Orbital's fine. Corrosive's worse. I'm going to Blink and Ion Storm. The first list that we've gone into, LME. Now I recognise LME, but I don't think that's one of the devs. Just could be another player, but that's a great looking Astra there. I like that very much. Especially like the two-tone colour on Ferg. Very cool. But yeah, so what I'm going to be doing is basically just trying to squeeze in as many games as we can with some of our favourite lists and seeing if we can compete at one point as well. I've actually recorded one game already that I thought was potentially against a developer, but I unfortunately had to leave, so I ended up not getting the use out of that I'd have liked to, but it's fine. So we're going to deploy an aggressive Maximus here with the intention of, if they're greedy with their Cinder, we can steal it from them. Next turn we've got 4, so yeah, so this is the thing, with Astra being out here, they can into the Breach of Rickety, but that only just kills Maximus if it comes to it. They've got 4 Cinder, we've got 4 next turn. Definitely see what we can work out from here. Okay, so I feel like this is going to be a Talali coming out as well. A Maximus, okay, I would have assumed Talali based on that. Oh, was there a... It looked like there was a line there very briefly. So have I not got any lines of sight here at all from Maximus? So I've got a bad line of sight over here. Oh, it was this. That's what it was. So we can get a 23% line of sight here. So let's go... Come on. 21. Let's take that. So we'll just take the hits where we can get them. Probably just hide back over here. Zax can currently not get anything. So we can get our Blink off, gain our extra Cinder, and honestly this feels like a situation where we stick Beatrice out over here and we bring our Deadeye to safety somewhere in this sort of direction. Because this gives us good angles to get around next turn. And we can continue applying that pressure. So Beatrice here is basically just going to force them to have to work their way around it or rotate away from us. And I think if they rotate this way, it's probably best, but that puts them in range of Beatrice. Interesting, because Corrosive doesn't work the same way anymore, so if this is something our opponent's expecting, they're only actually going to deal 1 damage to Maximus and then that's it. Because the new reworked Corrosive really makes a difference here. Okay, so they can deal 3 damage here, but they're going to take 2 back. There we go. And I think that puts us in a spot where we can actually look at potentially dealing damage back next turn as well. Especially if we can find ways of squeezing in some damage first so that we don't have to sacrifice Beatrice to do so. That would be great. Okay, so this is interesting because if we can get a Zax attack here, this actually works out quite well for us. The first thing we're going to do is Ion Storm. And then see if we can get any good hits. So, interesting enough, here there's not any great hits. But if we move Deadeye to here, and we're actually just going to be out of range for a good line onto Zax, a good line with Zax as well. So, okay, so we're actually just going to move Deadeye here, Ozos onto Zax to try and get this hit. 97. We can then move here. We're just out of range to get that. Maximus can move up and go for the hits onto Astra here. Excellent, we've got at least 1, which is perfect. And we get a Blink. We've got our Deadeye attack, actually forgot about that, 50-50. Did miss, but that's fine. And we're going to save our Cinder here to have 6 next turn. So they've got reduced accuracy. They're pretty much pinned into a corner here, interestingly enough. So without them dealing damage to Beatrice, I think they're going to really struggle here. We've got actually 8 Cinder next turn, so we can probably play multiple things. What is this? This is awesome. For some reason, Chuck looks really cool in white. I like that a lot. So is this... Looks like they actually missed on the snaring hit as well, so we're going to be trying to just run down the captain here. There is not many... Yeah, there's not many situations where that's not what we want to be doing. So we're probably just going to try and even maybe just pull things away and deploy more aggressively until they play a defensive unit. We don't need to worry about anything other than this. So just take our shots. Keep pushing for the damage that we can get. So Zax can get an okay line here. If we can get that reduced to this. So it's still 85, but we can just make it 100 here with double stacking buffs. There we go. We might... I don't think this will get us a hit. Oh, it does. There we go. Perfect. So we had a really good follow-up there. We're going to be able to take them down next turn. And that is our first victory of the little stream. So, I say, well, stream. We're not the ones streaming. We're just playing games. So, I'm going to carry on with this list. But the reason being is just because I really enjoy it. I might in a moment do some Taria's Arsenal or something instead. Okay, so we've just found our next match. We're going to jump into this and see who we're against now. Fingers crossed it's going to be one of the dev team, but there's no guarantees in this whatsoever. We might end up playing the entire duration and not coming across a single dev team opponent, but that's not the point. The point is to have fun, and honestly, I'm just glad to have this many people in the game. It's really enjoyable to me, so I'm going to look forward to this. So, here, I like controlling the board anyway, which Corrosive is good for. I think it's a lot worse than it used to be, but that's completely fair. It needed to be. And Stim Burst is probably one of my favourite assists now, so that is going to be our pick. Let's see what we've got. So we've got fairly short rush distance here. Not as short as this one. This one still terrifies me against an Extilior who can just, if they spawn here, you spawn there. Get into range instantly. We're against Rantology. So, I don't believe this is one of the spawns where there's a turn 1 shot. So we're just going to move up. Place our Maximus, make sure not to place him in here, which is what I call Pillar Prison. Because if you place him in there immediately, you can actually not move out between this gap and you can get stuck in completely. So please do not deploy in here unless you've got some weird reasoning for it. Okay, so they can potentially play something defensive here. So I don't think we'll be able to get a line of sight into that Maximus. So given that that's not going to kill it no matter what we do, I actually think we just run away from Extilior and just try and shoot him down. So take a couple of shots here. Move back here to make it harder line of sight. Again, no line of sight here for the Maximus. Shoot directly down here. And in this position, we're going to pop Beatrice down. There is nothing sadder for the Extilior than realising that they're going to have to just fight their way through Beatrice or run around another way to get to us. So we can just force them to go in a direction they don't want to. It blocks off the good lines of sight for Maximus. This is a really awkward play for them to have to deal with, because we just plonked a big old thing right in the way. And then what we can do as well, this is going on, we can chase them a little bit. Okay, they're running Stitchy. Okay, so we need to try and deal with Stitchy, because Stitchy will just undo all of our work. But frankly, if they're willing to spend 2 cinders to do that every so often, that's absolutely fine. We're just going to take opportunities as and when we find them. And I think Blindsider SD is going to be the perfect choice for that. So, we don't have any good lines onto Stitchy here. We've got one onto Extilior again, which is quite nice. I actually think we're going to Stim Burst here and see if we can get Beatrice. She's just going to be short of being in range, but that's absolutely fine. We just want to be moving up and applying that pressure. So, can we get... no lines onto Stitchy still, so we're still just going to go in here for the Extilior hit. Push that through. And move back over here. Zax can potentially do the same. There was a line onto Stitchy there, but not a good one because it's going through Extilior, so I think we just take the same shot. Okay, we missed that one, which is not ideal, but then we can place Esley somewhere. So this is the spot where, like I said, you can't actually move out of this if you place in here, which is pretty awkward. So we're just going to move ourselves over here with Blindsider Esley. Just make sure, Extilior can't quite get there without a movement assist. So we're just going to move over here, try and be protected from Maximus as much as possible, and give them, less incentive to run that way as well. So what we also would like them to do is, I was about to say, spend their cinder healing up Extilior, because eventually we're just going to kill their Stitchy anyway, and this is just stopping them developing the board. So this could actually be a really nice situation for Shrapnel, especially with the AoE here, but also for Peacemaker Balam will really help us out in this situation. So We're going to have to see how they go. If they leave their Maximus exposed at any point, we're going to need to basically go and deal with that, because otherwise it's going to chip away at ours. So they can get line of sight here. It's very unlikely to kill ours, but definitely possible. Okay, it didn't. So where they run here is quite important. Because if they run back this way, then fair enough, they'll be fairly safe. But they have to hide behind this pillar, and we've moved up a bit more aggressively compared to last time. Yeah, so there we go. And where's Extilior going to run? He's faster than Beatrice, but he's going to be running towards danger. So we've got, again, decent range density here. Snarling, okay. So funny enough, we can just move in here and start blocking off this route, and still just applying the same pressure. Okay, so they're plinking our Maximus here. So we're just going to chase this down slowly. There's no point in trying to do anything else. And we want to spend 4 cinders, so I think what we're going to do is just try and move fairly aggressively still. So this is where we're going to keep applying the pressure onto their captain. Here we're actually going to move over. Okay, well this isn't a great line of sight onto Stitchy, but I think we want to hit one of these. There we go, and just move back in this direction. And I think the game plan is just going to be to play out shrapnel over here, start trying to get some aggression over to this side. We want to make sure we still keep line of sight onto their units and not give them free routes through. So I think this is pretty reasonable. Shouldn't block Beatrice, perfect. And now we can send Esley in with 4 damage just to start chipping away at Extilior. Ooh, the crit on the backswing is actually brutal. We're going to be in actually a pretty bad spot here. So they're almost forced to spend 2 cinder here every turn is the problem for them. And we can still keep moving across. We've got Stim Burst next turn. So I know we've been focusing the captain, but it's only been due to lack of opportunity to focus the crew. And next turn I think we're going to end up with better opportunities to shoot the crew. If they can, they probably want to snarling shrapnel here. But I actually think we're in a bit of trouble. Like, I don't know how we can necessarily do this. That crit was huge, because that would have been 4 more damage potentially this turn. Or forcing them to spend 2 more cinder. Okay, yeah, so it is shrapnel that they immobilised. We are going to be in range to attack still, which is nice. And we can stim burst our other couple of units. I actually think we're going to struggle to race Stitchy here, which is a really interesting spot to be in. It might even just be that we have to Florio Lancer and keep trying to shoot things from afar. I think that's probably our play next turn, is to Florio something. And just start, continue to run away around here and Florio in the back. Depending on what they play here. If this is their own Florio, it is interesting. Okay, so they've got 2 cinder, they can still heal. Okay, they didn't go for the heal, they've got the Plink instead. But they haven't actually changed anything's life total here, so Plink doesn't do anything. So we're going to just get our speed on. And we're going to try and find some shots to take to move us into a better position. So I don't think we're going to have a good shot here. I don't think we've got a great turn. I think we still just apply pressure onto their captain. We missed anyway. Take the shot here. It's the only thing we can shoot. Beatrice moves up here. This should be able to get us a fairly safe shot onto Extilior. We get a second one here. Move back this direction. We should just about be out of his range. I don't feel like our what's I going to say? I don't feel like our corrosive's going to do much, but I do think this is a good Florio turn. So now they're going to have to start wondering what to do. We've got potentially enough cinder to group someone up. We've managed to kite them around nicely, but we're going to lose Maximus next, and we don't have too much of a range damage going on. If I were them, I'd even consider just trying to use Florio to take out this. This I don't think does that much. Too slow. Like, Snarling can snare us again. Beatrice is not going to get in range anyway. And we can start using our AoE over this area. Blink to heal, that's fine. Because we don't actually want to rush down their captain. Like, that's not our game plan. We want to try and destroy the crew. And this is our best route of... We just haven't had a good opportunity to take the crew out very often. This has been a really good game from Rantology, so if Rantology is a new player or a dev or whatever it is, really, really well played. I genuinely feel like I'm struggling here. So if they can move away with Snarling, we actually won't have any line of sight with Shrapnel at all, which is pretty good for them as well. This I'm a little unsure about. I think moving into a Beatrice is a bit unnecessary, especially given that she just hits back. And we can probably get a nice orbital over here. Ooh, if we can orbital that, Florio that and corrosive, that actually does change things a little bit in terms of the race. Yeah, because we can potentially kill either Snarling. We can do 4 to Snarling and that, yeah. So can we bombard it is the question. So we need to be a little closer. This does look like it should do it potentially. Yeah, so we can bombard to get all 3 of them. If we just corrosive first. This is a good use of corrosive because corrosive then deals 3 damage, but it's nowhere near as much as it used to be. So go for these. Shrapnel does not have line of sight. It can only shoot Extilior, but I mean, it's a low chance to hit. However, Beatrice will only take 1 anyway, but it means we're dead to a spin, so that's just a pretty bad shot all in all. If we can get this to hit, that would be really nice. We did. Okay, so we can use Maximus here to try and take out probably Stitchy. Go on, hit the other one. Oh, we whiffed. So whiffing that's pretty brutal. We do have another deployment to place down. I think we probably just put Deadeye somewhere over here, somewhere fairly safe. This does give them 2 targets they can potentially hit with their Florio, but if I were them I'd still be shooting Maximus. And they can probably take our Maximus out now though. Ooh, they can hit a triple. Okay. Ooh, baby, a triple. Really good choice. Just don't plink this. Okay, good. So our opponent's actually ahead of us in terms of units now. Wow, and they killed Deadeye as well. Yeah, that was a really bad misplay from me there. So we're going to want to clear up their units as quick as possible, and I think we've got a good chance to do so. This is going to be an awkward situation though, because we're actually going to start getting run down by Extilior. We're going to have to just kite him away with mines. Okay, I'm not as worried about this, especially depending on where they move. They can kill our Maximus, that's fine. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. The question is, can we get a double hit here? That's what we're going to be aiming for. We actually probably just want to shrapnel and run away. Okay, so this stops us getting almost any doubles apart from here, potentially. Cinder Infusion went on Florio. Okay. So, do we have a good route here? So we don't have much good going on there, so we're going to need to stim burst these to run away. There's nothing we can do about this, so we just take that shot, run as far as we can in this direction. Probably have to pop a sleeper mine down over here to slow Extilior down. So we can hit that, or we can hit over here. I think this is more important. Can we get Zax into range of any good hits up that end? The answer to that is no. Can we get any good luck? We can go for this. I think this is the right play. Just try and whittle down Stitchy. Keep moving Florio. We could even just grav disc up this way, but I think we'd rather just save our Cinder. I think we're going to lose this, personally. I think we're going to... We need to kill their Florio sooner rather than later. Stitchy we can get to eventually. Yeah, so now they're coming this way. Yeah, this is a good one. They kill our Shrapnel. I don't know if I'd go for that or the mine. I'd absolutely kill Shrapnel here. I wouldn't leave Shrapnel alive under any circumstances. Yeah. Which means they can actually kill this next turn, so we have to go for a Zax shot onto their Florio in order to kill it. And this is where, if I'd have placed Deadeye a little bit more defensively, we'd have had a good shot there. So this was all of this coming down to the Deadeye. With Deadeye around, we could have guaranteed this. They could also potentially run here and heal it as well, which isn't a bad shot. This Stitchy has been a real problem on this map. Like, it absolutely has. Oh, are we trapped as well? Wow. Okay, yeah. This is a solid turn from our opponent. So we can heal, but we're going to need to Florio first. So this has to be the hit. And then we need to get the best line of sight we can here, but with still being able to gravity disc away. So let's just pull these down. So we can just move a little bit further away with this. Zax has to go for the shot no matter what happens. More than 50-50? There we go. Perfect. So we can still place a sleeper mine, but nowhere really useful. So here's probably the best we can do.
Meditating.
Can we get shrapnel? Shrapnel can get line of sight here.
Gotcha.
So just keep putting that damage down. We're going to lose shrapnel this turn, but we've kept our Florio alive for a turn potentially. Without a crit, they can't kill him through Plink. And we can start neck divining next turn. We can start just dealing with things here and there. If Extilior comes down and spins, that's kind of good for us. Again, this Stitchy has been a real issue. So we are going to absolutely run away with this and move back here, place a neck divine in the way, and try and start healing up and blocking off the movement of Torium. Because Florio is actually our best way of winning this game right now. Maybe we should have actually found a way to play Peacemaker Balam a turn earlier. That would have been useful as well. So if there's going to still run up this way, like we wouldn't mind a world in which we could hit Stitchy and take Stitchy out, but I think here we're in just full defensive mode, you know, trying to just stay alive as possible. If they deploy in front of our Zax to stop him getting this direction, that's actually really, really difficult to deal with. Yeah, this could be a real issue. Go on, deploy in the prison. Deploy in prison. Pillar prison. Do it. Do it. I was about to say if this is a shrapnel we're in a lot of trouble. Oh, that's very awkward. I don't think we can keep our Florio alive, which I also think means we probably lose the game. So we're going to need to Stim Burst. Can hit both of these, which is good. So we've got enough for one mine, one activation.
Eager to please.
So we don't have a good shot on Extilior from here, do we? We do not. We don't have a good shot onto anything, actually. But I still think Shrapnel just moves up.
This moon's talking to me.
I think maybe we even have to gravity disc this. I don't like this at all. What can we bombard? Okay, so we can bombard both of those. So if we just hit Corrosive down first, pop the bombard down.
Oh, hey.
Get as much damage as we possibly can. Might as well push in for this, see if we can get a line of sight with Shrapnel now. No. And we need to deploy something. Nectarvine doesn't even stop it.
Need a moment to take all this in.
So we're going to pull back to here.
You try balancing while dead.
We're going to play Peacemaker Balam over here. And a mine. There we go. So again, we've lost our Florio here. What we haven't lost is all hope. We've got a good number of mines around. They're going to keep healing, so we need to kill that Stitchy, and we've lost Florio here. We basically had to concede that point. There was no way we could deal with Florio. Yeah, so we're basically safe from this direction. We're not worried about that. Like, without a crit here. Oh my goodness, they got the crit. They can. Oh, they've used Plink. Thank goodness they've used Plink. If they hadn't got Plink there, we'd have been in so much trouble. If they've got a Scattervine, I think we actually just lose. Because we lose Balam. Balam's the only thing keeping us safe here. So this is going to blow up. That's not. We're needing to deploy more mines over here. Ooh, Broken Vengeance. I think we've lost to our level 0 opponent. So Rantology has done a really good job here. I'm going to try and play it out a little bit, but again, that Stitchy has been such a problem the whole way through. I'm sure we've made plenty of misplays here, but this felt almost unwinnable. Okay, so can we Gravity Disc Extilior into this? Probably. So let's Sleeper Mine just here.
Hope you like bombs, 'cause I
I'm going to
lost
move
the
over
gift
to
receipt.
dip Broken Vengeance back a little.
Keep that as a souvenir.
That crit's pretty nice. We're going to Spore Puff this. And move back here to hide, I believe. And play ourselves out a little Nectarvine. So let's Nectarvine here as well. Again, we are going to struggle this game. With them having Plink, we're in a lot of trouble. So this isn't as much of an issue. We can potentially deal with this. It's just Balam we need to keep alive. If we can start grouping things up at any point, we're in a really good spot. In fact, we should have placed this touching just to deal damage. Or even just here to start walling things off. This could be a nice gravity disc turn. So the one advantage we've got here is that we've got more range than they appear to, so it depends on what their last unit is. If their last unit is even something like a Deadeye, I think we lose. Yeah, they can keep healing up. So eventually, if we can just keep these units alive, we can kite Extilior forever. You know, we're not going to have too many issues on that front. We can gravity disc him back this way, put another mine in front of him, you know, force him out over and over. But it's whether or not we're going to be able to finish Stitchy and him in time, and Broken Vengeance. Again, I think we're in a situation where we have to deal with Broken Vengeance first, because they deal with damage. So, I'm not sure. I think we have to grav disc backwards as well and place another mine in front. Okay, so they are going to just take that. That's good for us. Second wind, what's their last unit? Come on, play it out. I can't think of anything you don't play here, so kind of confused.
Looks like you're thinking.
So let's pop this back out.
Gotcha.
We need to grav disc. So can we just grav disc Extilior backwards? Can. Place a Sleeper Mine just outside of spin distance is what we want to do. Just about there. Can Spore Puff over here. And just move slightly further backwards, staying in range of our Healy Plant. So, next turn we can kill Broken Vengeance, and then we can start slowly working on Shrapnel, I guess. Oh, this feels so bad. What's their deployment? This depends. This matters a lot. Whatever this unit is could be game changing. It could just be me calling it at the end of the day. Quetzalcoatl. I mean, at least in terms of damage, Quetzalcoatl doesn't matter. It does matter in terms of keeping Extilior away from us, so there's a problem. So we absolutely have to stun Stitchy moving forwards, probably. Yeah, so they're going to go for Balam here. Balam's the only thing keeping us... Oh, they're going for the plant. Okay. I can cope with plant. Because Balam's the only thing we need to keep safe.
Good.
Oh, they wanted the heals. Yep. What a mess this is. Yeah, I think this is going to go on too long, and I think in the end of it we actually probably do lose. There is a world where we can kite away and live, but we don't have enough damage on the board to out-damage their things without using the mines. I think here we're going to call it a day and concede. I think our opponents played very well. They've got 5 crew to our 2. They've absolutely outclassed us there. I'm happy to give that win to Rantology. So, well played. Really good game. Actually a really good game. So, happy to have played that one. No problem with losing to... I genuinely feel like I was outplayed on that game quite constantly. That Stitchy was absolutely MVP. So let's queue up again. We've got an hour left to see if we can find a dev. I will switch up the list a little bit here. Let's go with Altaria's Arsenal, their full rapid fire list. It has got Amplify Bito and Quetzalcoatl in it from pre-nerf, but who cares? Let's have some fun. I still think they're both very powerful units. I don't think they're going to be out of the meta at all. I think they're going to be slightly less prevalent. It's interesting seeing the changes to how Escape Hatch works with Bito as well. So yeah, especially because that doesn't actually exist anymore. You can't ever use Escape Hatch to bring out Amplify Bito because it just kills the unit. So really interesting changes, and I'm going to cut the video here briefly. I'm going to come back once we've got a game, and hopefully we'll see you there. Okay, we are back in the game, we're back for another one. I have just checked, Rantology is one of the developers, so absolutely well played from Rantology there. I'm going to have to look it up afterwards and see what they do as part of their role, but they absolutely picked me apart there, so happy to see it. We're going to pick the movement assists. We're against PJ Min, so I've not come across PJ Min before. I'm going to have a quick look on my phone and just see if they are someone on the list that I recognise from the devs. Bear with me. Here we go. They are, so we've got another developer. 2 in a row. So let's just see what we can do here. This is our just rapid fire fun list. So at least in this video we're going to have 2 different games versus devs, and I'm more than happy to be picked apart here. So they're going to shoot us. They're going to... Ooh, they missed. I'm probably going to play out a Maximus or something behind here. They are. And what we're going to do is, if they're going to play a Maximus here and be safe, we're going to just run damage into their face, basically. So we're going to try and get our positioning done properly. It's a nice crit. We want to stay slightly further away from the wall so we don't get pinned in. Move up and get our next shot in. Ooh! These are some big crits already. Now, given that they don't have that many units out, I'm going to deploy a rickety backfire in their face and see if I can just run straight into them and deal that damage. So they can deal 4 here. They're going to have to rely on a crit. Oh, they got the crit. No! Oh, go on. 1 miss. Just 1 miss. 85. Miss. Miss. Oh. I was really thinking we'd be able to do without a without a crit there. I was like, go on. They got a 3 in 10 chance of critting. But that's fine. That's the way the game goes. It was absolutely the right thing to play Deadeye there, but I couldn't resist the urge to just throw out a rickety backfire in the face when they didn't have enough damage guaranteed on board to hit it. Like, it was definitely wrong, especially when we've got good ways of following up for damage. But who cares? We're all here to enjoy ourselves. Okay, so they're playing Absolute Terror. That's what they're going for. So that's 8 damage to our face immediately. So let's try and alleviate that by just killing them quicker. So let's get our Maximus in. Oof! There are so many crits in this game.
Breaking records and hearts.
Getting down to 8. And I guess we're just placing a Deadeye again, probably over here. The question is, can we actually pull things out of line of sight? What's their... Oh dear.
Who, me? Seriously, what?
This is an oops. Both of their crew are trapped in one place. PJ Min has ruined their own chances here. And without a vortex or disruptor, they've trapped both of their units side to side. No! Oh, that's so sad. Like, I think we were actually... I think we're in a good spot, but I think we by no means were guaranteed here. But they're now having to put Zax in a vulnerable position and spend 2 Cinder just to try and use their units, and I don't even know if they're going to be able to move out. This is one of the... The thing is... Come on, move. Okay, they did get to move out. That's good. But the problem here is we can just be like, well, you're the devs, it must have been your fault. I got Cinder Infusion. So if they need to place a mine here, yeah. Awkwardly enough, I'm pretty sure that mine might actually be the death of them. Because I think now that actually leaves us an opportunity to explode them. Is this Plink? It is Plink. So I think what we do is pull these 2 back. Move slightly further back ourselves to guarantee the hit still, or get as close as we can to guaranteed. 90% should do it. It does. In fact, Maximus can move over to here. So that's the best we can get with Max. Is that within Deadeye's active ability range?
Like my battle mask?
It looks to be, but this won't be. So let's just pop it to about here and see what we can do.
I knew you could do it.
Can we release Ozos from here?
Hey,
Not
I've
quite.
seen worse.
Can we get...
Dead ahead.
This looks to be right.
Do I come with a warranty?
Oh, we got a miss and a crit. That was so many crits here. I believe this might do it. Okay. We'll just place a sleep mine for good measure.
Pushy, pushy.
And do we do it? There we go, perfect. Oh, that was really sad. Poor PJ Min just trapping themselves into place. Ah, well, all in all, these have been some really good games. I'm actually really happy to have picked up 2 games versus devs, 1 win, 1 loss. We had another game earlier on with someone I'm not sure if they were a dev or not. But what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to try and just queue up for one more here. And let's go for another list again. Let's go with... Where was it? No, it's not this one. Was it this one? Yeah, this is the so it's quite an interesting like defensive Astra list. So let's go for this for our final one. See if we can jump into one more game and make this a slightly longer video. And if so, we may even get lucky and get another dev as well. After this, I'm actually going to go and just watch the dev channel and enjoy the content on that. In that respect, I think PJ Min is a dev, but oh no, maybe they're not. I think they're just a player. So I think PJ Min's one of the players, and then the other person we lost to was... Oh, they've gone now. I can't remember who they were, but yeah, no, I think we... Oh yeah, Rantology, yeah, so they are one. Okay, Vortex and Blink. Let's see what we end up against. We're against an Astra this time. Okay. And who are we against? Naruto. Okay, so I don't think this is one of the devs. Doesn't appear to be. This is just a new player. But the Astra mirror match. The question is, how are we going to play this? So they're placing a Cinder Orb. It's going to be fairly safe. We're going to do basically the same thing. We will hop forward first. Take the shot. Use our Blink. And grow our Cinder. We want to grow our Cinder slightly further back. There we go. So they're going to hop this way. We're not going to be able to get line of sight anyway, so they might as well hit us first. And then we've got 6 in the next turn, so we can either... Ooh, the crit! So we're equal. All is equal. See? Assists perfectly balanced. All you need to do is crit to balance the assists out. This is when people have been complaining about the balance in the game between assists and all that sort of thing. This is the answer. Okay, they've got a Deadeye out, so... I mean, we're going to take the shot here just because it might crit. No reason to not. Pop back here. And we've got up to 8 Cinder, so what do we want to take? We can't use all of it once. We can only use a maximum of 5 in a turn. So not 8, so 6 Cinder. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a pretty far up Shrapnel.
It's their special day.
And then an equally far up Beatrice. And just call that our turn there. So I could have grown Cinder, but here we've got access to basically growing Cinder and Blinking next turn. The following turn we're going to start being able to use things like Toxoid. And this way we can use our Vortex aggressively next turn. Just run in. Okay, so they're still going to be slightly short here, but they can get a good line of sight. Maybe even hit both of us. Okay, so they awkwardly aren't actually in range of this. And we can play Ring Around the Rosy. If they go for this try to set up for next turn, we can just jump over and back over and over again to make it really hard for them to keep on top of us with a Beatrice. So Beatrice's big thing is being able to be kited. They could get 2. Yeah, they got both units here. We hit back, which is always nice. Deadeye is going to come out and play. So we do have, like, the Vortex is going to be our line to hopefully get line to 2 things this turn. Potentially even a Cinder Orb as well, depending on where they place it. If they're bringing Astra out, that was a mistake, because Astra can't damage us without a crit anyway. And depending on what they play, we could have some interesting setups here. So this doesn't look like a Cinder Orb because it's going right next to them. Esley, okay. So the question is, do we just bring these together and start whacking things with Beatrice even more? Maybe. Let's go for it.
Feeling fine. Nice and
oh, this is brutal. The triple hit. So we take 1 back, which we will then heal.
Never gets old.
We can also, if we get a good angle, so if we move further back, this is probably better. Okay, we can't actually hit both. So we'll just put damage onto Deadeye here.
Stop
Ooh, the
falling in
big
love.
crit as well.
Don't worry.
We can get another line onto Deadeye here. Go for an extra one.
Don't worry about me.
Honestly, I think I'm just going to grow Cinder over here. We kind of... In fact, we got 7 Cinder next turn, so if we just place this here, they can't attack our units, but we want to be slightly safer. Let's pop it here. I think this actually is quite a good safe spot to place Cinder. Because we can take it next turn, we can haste something out, we're going to have potentially 8 Cinder. So we can either just bring out Defense Dome and something else, we can play Florio and something else, we can haste a Tipu, we can haste a Broken Vengeance. I think we're in a solid spot here. This was a really good attack for us. Getting 6 damage, well 5 damage because Beatrice reducing it in exchange for 1. Awesome, love it. Also here we're not far away of being able to just Tipu this to death, which is what we might actually do, especially if they move Astra here. We're probably going to just move Shrapnel back so we can hit these two, and then go for the Tipu hit on to kill Beatrice and start growing that up. Or we can just start moving up towards Blindside at Esley and trying to take that out as well, because that's going to be a real threat coming later on. So they can actually deploy onto our Cinder here, which I hadn't thought about, and they should have done. Okay, they're just playing Tipu out. So this is very definitely a Toxoid turn. So we're going to Toxoid to hit their Tipu and then Shrapnel to finish it off, because otherwise it won't deal enough damage. And we can use Beatrice here to get a little bit more push through as well. So maybe lining up here could actually end up perfect. Yeah, this is the perfect hit. So we're going to move here. In fact, we've got 1, 2, 3 and Plink. So if we hit this properly,
Crossing them out.
I'm actually just going to go for the no miss approach here. Plink first, and then we can into the breach our Tipu to kill their Tipu. And then what we want to do here is just grow a Cinder somewhere that... So we don't mind giving them Cinder in a turn that, you know, there's nothing else that we can do with it really, because we want to stop them being able to get attacks onto multiple ones of our units. And we could have played it back here and gone for like a I don't know, maybe Broken Vengeance. It's not really much to do with though. We knew Beatrice is dead, that's fine. We're trying to basically build Florio up here so that, yeah, they can't quite get to Florio, perfect. They can only hit one of our units. So this is going to die to Tipu next turn, our weird purpley Tipu. And then Tipu's going to start growing. It's the old, what was it? Power Rangers, the make my monster grow! Funny enough, they couldn't get in range of us because they were just out of range, but we can get in range of them. So we'll go for this hit. Now we don't have a line of sight onto Deadeye here. We can just about actually get one onto Florio. So if we go here, we'll go for that, which is pretty nice. What can we into the breach here that's pretty powerful? Honestly, I think it might just be an into the breach on our Broken Vengeance. Not for any particular reason other than to just come here and poke Deadeye to death. We're probably just going to focus on their captain next turn. So we just keep attacking there. Grow another Cinder just in case we need it. And now we've got a really big follow-up turn. We don't have much pressure left up here, so Florio's our only thing left. But if we've got potentially 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we are one short of being able to actually activate Florio next turn with haste, which is ridiculous. Love it though. So we've trimmed them down quite a lot. Let's see what we can do from here. I think they're going to struggle to kill us. They can haste something out, which is what they should do, especially with Corrosive. They could potentially even just kill, you know, well, kill something. But it depends on how much Cinder they're willing to spend. So the awkward thing with Bytor is it means that they don't actually do anything with it. And if Broken Vengeance with... we can just kill that. I mean, I'm going to do that because... oh, actually, no, because we want to Vortex and kill them. If depending on where they move, if we can kill them, we kill them. If not... oh, another... yeah, I mean... Yep, they dealt 3 damage. Okay, so we can't actually kill them, so we are going to need to basically Broken Vengeance and just vortex this to death. I mean, we can try and pull them all together, but I don't think it's going to work, so let's just do this.
Gotta try this.
Yeah, so we just kill this, take them back, kill it, boom, that jump done. Take a small debuff here, we might hit our own guy, but much better chance of hitting them. We did. Can blink away. Tifu can keep running forwards. Astra can run forwards, might as well take another shot. Oh, we got the crit as well. I'm going to pop Florio just back here, because they've only got 3 life left, and I think just place Nectarvine here, and heal everyone. So there we go. I think we pretty much locked this game up. We're going to finish it off against, unfortunately not one of the devs, but we did get to play one of the devs. We got to play someone else who I think was either a dev or trying to play the devs. I think they were just trying to play the devs. And we got a game against someone who's not involved in the process entirely. So, all in all, I think there might have been a 4th game, but it feels like so long ago, I can't even remember what it was. But this has been really fun, so we should be able to finish this game off here. Florio's range is the entire map. So without having something that Astra could finish off here, there was no way of getting out of range. And there we go, and our opponent concedes. So, really good game to finish it off. Really happy we got to play against the devs. Turns out the only game against an actual developer, we did lose, and we lost convincingly. And it had me thrown for a bit, because it was against a level 0 account, and it was an in-game name that I've never seen before. So, did throw me a little bit. Happy to lose against them. Honestly, really well played. On every single opponent we had today was really good. Ooh, levels gained +1. But, yeah. Can't say anything enough. This has been a really fun event. If you see one of these happening again, I'd absolutely recommend taking part. I'm going to be going across to the Discord now, spend the last 40 minutes, because the devs have set up, some of them are streaming, some of them, and they're all in like one big group chat, and I really want to be part of that. So, you know, if you're watching it, you don't get to participate in the vocal chat, because obviously there would then be potentially a couple of 100 people all trying to talk at once, but all the devs are chatting as well, so it's a really interesting thing to watch and listen. I'm going to be joining that. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really is the best way of helping the channel grow. We're trying to get to 250 subs, and like it if you did, comment if you just got anything to say about it whatsoever, and most importantly, have a good day. Okay, so this is a little bonus bit of footage I've just popped in here because I have managed to get another game versus a dev without really trying to. I was just queuing up for fun, and I've managed to come against the same dev that beat us earlier. So I'm going to try and kill their Maximus out and make the game a lot happier for me. Okay, Maximus being dead is very nice. Exterior can't move all the way up here, so let's just pop a Deadeye over here.
See if we still got it.
This is a much better start. Last time we were on the massive map, and Rantology just played the same list. Oh, I knew they were going to have Stim Burst. So they can just... I literally thought to myself, I was like, I bet they've got Stim Burst. So they spend their whole turn, but then they get those second wins, so they can still play something out. Oh, that confidence to kill Maximus every time. No, not Stitchy again. I'm really tempted to just start working on Stitchy, but... So we know this time that we can't leave Stitchy like anywhere. Stitchy is a terrifying presence in this game. So the question is, how do we deal with it? Really? Oh, all these misses. So Exilio can move that far. So Esley should be fairly safe here without Stitchy moving, and then if we just... Actually, change my mind. Let's just push Esley further away. I don't know. I feel like I need to push something. Maybe it's just this. So this puts Deadeye a bit more at risk, but we've got Lifeline, so let's just do this, a little bonus game. So let's see where we go from here. Disrupt the beam. I mean, that's pretty brutal. Okay, Rantology is good at this. Far better than I am. Yeah, kill Deadeye. Yeah, I don't feel like I've actually got a chance. So Stitchy's going to hide in the smoke. Okay, hiding behind the smoke. So we can get into Stitchy.
Got a problem?
So we've got the range for that. We just need to spend 4 Cinder. Here I think it's just going to be pop shrapnel down. Hello, shrapnel? You coming?
Sorry to keep you waiting.
There we go. So we're going to just pop ourselves in this. Go for the damage. Oh, we actually left them able to move, which is also unfortunate. Might as well get the damage in and hide ourselves in the smoke a little. Lifeline over here. I thought we'd have had trapped Extilior in here a little bit easier, but maybe... Oh, they're further away from the wall. That's why. I didn't realise they weren't against the wall. So now we're losing Esley. See, that's something that comes from experience, is don't sit against the wall. Again, Rantology's using a lot of Cinder to do this, but we are now multiple units down. We've lost 3 and they've lost 1, and they've got heals to heal themselves. Rantology might just be the single best Extilior player I've ever seen. This is mind-blowing. I love it. I don't know how to deal with Stitchy McPatchy. I just want to concede already. I can't play Extilior, and it turns out I can't play against him when there's a Stitchy involved. Like, I haven't even had a good chance to kill Stitchy in one shot yet. Can I get... Okay, this is a good range at least.
I'm not mad. The berry is.
Can we just keep applying damage? I guess we have to. And then just... probably Florio. And just try and churn out Florio damage. So I don't think they're going to have an easy chance of killing us here, but we can start applying damage, because if Stitchy wants to get in range to heal, they're going to need to be together at some point. This might be an option. Yeah, so they're going to heal Extilior, which is fine. We're going to want to move over here and take this shot next turn. Potentially just kill Stitchy is the plan. Basically, this is Operation Kill Stitchy. Because if we don't kill Stitchy, we're going to lose this again. I don't want to lose again, I want to win! This is our bonus game! Oh, please. Oh no, it's Stim Burst. Okay. There was a part of me that thought that was going to be a... Oh my god, in the middle! No! This is such an aggressive way to play Extilior. I can't cope with it. We're going to get trapped in as well, aren't we? They could just box us into a direction. Torian. Okay. I'm more okay with that. Are we nearly at lethal here?
Now we're talking.
What?
I actually think we might be nearly into lethal range here.
That's my boy.
Yeah, we're getting close. If we just apply enough pressure to end this. Say if we place like a Beatrice here. Make it hard for them to move that direction.
With you till the end.
Stick the bombard down.
Drinks just go right through me.
Honestly, this can just... I think maybe even just move forwards. Or just to here. I think we're in a good spot to potentially have lethal next turn, so they can heal by 3. This goes up to 7. I don't know what other things they're going to get. Okay, yeah, so up to 7. I don't think they can kill anything. And I think we can add a lot of damage. We're going to have to pull this away, that's fine. We're just far enough away to live, I believe. Yeah, so they shouldn't be able to kill us without a crit. Because this is in spin range, but not in other ranges. So, all we need to do is pull Torian away and bombard, and we should have this next turn. Ooh, the 4. Oh, if they had got... Oh, they couldn't reach here anyway. So depending on what the player's here, if it's something that keeps us out of range, we lose. Okay, so... just use a gravity disc this out over here, I believe, or even just... Can we gravity disc us this way? This should do the job because it gets... Are you joking? So, take this hit first. We'll move just over here with Zax. Beatrice gets the hit. Oh my goodness, we nearly killed ourselves. Oh, at least we got that. Bonus footage. I'm ready to bash my head into the table now. Thank you, Rantology, for having another great game. I'm happy to at least say I've beaten one of the dev team now. I'll add this as a little like sneak at the end of the video after I've done my outro, and hopefully we'll just be able to watch and enjoy.